Hey, what is up, mortals? It is Esberk VA here, and welcome to part 6 of What If Deku Was a Power Ranger. Just wanted to greet you guys by saying sit back and relax, you're in for a treat. And so, we begin. A group of putties appeared outside the UA barrier. The gray-skinned goons looked around, confused. Look what we have here! Ninjor leaned against the UA barrier. You all were expecting to appear on the campus. Too bad the anti-teleportation field is already up. Looks like Kruger was right. The putties, being of, very little brain, gathered around Ninjor. The armored ninja calmly reached over his shoulder and took a hold of his sword. I know you were expecting to fight rangers today. How about you give me a try? The putties transformed their arms into weapons and charged at Ninjor. Ninjor charged his sword with power. The air around it began to twist and swirl. The blue man then slashed his sword diagonally through the air. This action unleashed a powerful air wave. The attack finished off the oncoming wave of putties immediately. The small number of remaining putties, to say they were frightened would be an understatement. Did you like that? That was my ninja air slash. Don't feel bad. I have an attack for you all too. I call it Ninja Fireball. The ninja man formed a fireball in between his hands. Ninjor then shot the blazing orb at the remaining putties. This small group of foot soldiers was turned into gray powder. Ninjor looked to the sky. Nice try. You will have to do better than that. The blue-armored man then walked back to the UA barrier entrance. Back at the training field, Midoriya and Uraraka were preparing for the start of the combat training. Hey Midoriya, are you ready for this? This is not going to be easy. Ida's fast. That'll make it hard to counter his attacks. And then there's Kacchan. Are you two really good friends? I couldn't help noticing that your costumes are very similar. Me and Kacchan have trained together for a long time now. I would say we're more than friends. We're rivals. I know Kacchan will give his all to this training. He'll either treat it like this is a real fight, or he won't hold back. So I won't either. The pink-cheeked girl was moved by the green teen's enthusiasm. In that case, we should give it our all too. I like how you think, Uraraka. Let's get this party started. As Midoriya said those words, Kruger gave the command to start the exercise. Midoriya and Uraraka entered the building where Bakugo and Ida had hidden their missile through a window. The pair creeped along the hallway, trying to be quick but stealthy. Both teens reached the center of the building in no time. Uraraka was surprised to see Bakugo, in his shiny Red Ranger suit, standing in the middle of the hallway waiting for them. Uraraka whispered to Midoriya, What is he doing here? Shouldn't he be protecting the weapon? Kacchan's not really a defensive player. If Kacchan's here, then that means Ida is protecting the weapon alone. Uraraka, I need you to go find Ida. I'll take care of Kacchan. Wait, wouldn't it be better to confront him as a team? Not really. Kacchan's too strong of a fighter. He probably couldn't beat both of us, but he could hold us up here until time ran out. It's better if I take him on alone. Uraraka could have objected. She had just met the green-eyed boy yesterday. But the round-faced girl felt she could trust Midoriya's plan. So, Uraraka gave Midoriya a knowing nod and ran off back down the hall to find another way to the next floor. I knew you wouldn't wait for the fight to come to you. Let's get this started, Scales. Midoriya and Bakugo exchanged a flurry of blows. The two young men knew each other's fighting style so well that each one could block each other's attacks. The two Rangers ended up deadlocked. The two power teens backed up from each other to get better positions. You've been training on your own, Kacchan. You got 5 hits on me. Same goes for you, Green Brain. And don't compliment the enemy. The two boys resumed their battle. Meanwhile, Kruger and the other 1A students watched the battle between the Red and Green Rangers unfold. Momo Yaoyorozu was intrigued by the combat between Midoriya and Bakugo. Those two are very skilled in martial arts. Yeah, they are. Look at them go. I have to say that I am most surprised by Midoriya's ability. Agreed. He doesn't look very impressive, but he is matching Bakugo blow for blow. If I had to guess, this is probably going to come down to strategy. Those two are just too evenly matched. Good eye, Miss Yaoyorozu. Now, all of you, pay attention to this. Back on the battlefield, Midoriya knew something had to change. If the battle continued the way it was going, then time would run out. If that happened, then the emerald-haired youth and Uraraka would lose the exercise. Midoriya quickly tried to think of a plan, A crazy idea came to him. If this worked, then he could disable his red-themed friend, rejoin Uraraka, and find the weapon before time ran out. Midoriya broke off his attack and ran off down the hall. "What the hell, Scales? Have you suddenly turned chicken?" With those loud exclamations, Bakugo ran after Midoriya. As Midoriya ran, he was careful not to lose Bakugo. The clever boy also channeled his energy into his arms. When Midoriya gathered enough energy, he stopped and turned around. "Ready to fight again?" "Let's end this, Kacchan. We both know that we could fight each other for hours. But that's not how either of us wants this to end." "I agree, Izuku." Both boys charged up their final attacks, the Dragon Orb for Midoriya and the Tyranno Strike for Bakugo. Back in the control room, the other Rangers watched the display of power between Midoriya and Bakugo with growing concern. "This is not good, guys. They could destroy the whole building if they unleashed those attacks in such a confined space." "Sir, aren't you going to stop them?" Kruger stroked his chin, the Jackal Man mused to himself as he watched the match. "There's nothing to be concerned about, you three." The three power teens begged Kruger to stop the match, but the dog instructor told the three to keep watching. Bakugo attacked first. Instead of releasing his attack in a massive energy wave, the furious teen gathered his power in his right hand. Bakugo then charged at his dragon-suited friend and hit him with a massive punch. Bakugo yelled at the top of his lungs, "Tyranno Impact!" The Tyranno Impact collided with a golden diamond-shaped energy field in front of Midoriya. This field deflected most of the damage. "What the hell, Scales?" "Turns out that this shield on my chest is for more than just decoration." With those words, Midoriya grabbed hold of his Dragon Orb and slammed it into Bakugo's chest. The impact sent the flabbergasted youth flying backward, his ranger suit sparking like crazy. Bakugo managed to stay on his feet, but he had no time to catch his breath. Midoriya came charging at him. The determined youth unleashed a flurry of empowered punches. Midoriya screamed with all his might, "Dragon! Barrage!" The force of the assault forced Bakugo back into a demorphed state. He laid on the ground, unmoving. Midoriya checked on his friend. The bombastic blonde was breathing, but out cold. The Emerald Teen took out his capture tape and wrapped up the unconscious Bakugo. In the control room, Kruger stood before the monitors with a smile on his doggy face. "You see, students, the two of them condensed their attacks so that they would not damage the building." "It also looked like those attacks were more powerful than usual. Normally, energy attacks are like, whoosh, but these attacks were like, bang." "A very interesting observation, Miss Ashido. Anyone care to guess why that is?" "Well, the difference in power is probably down to the condensing of the energy. It's like using a hose versus a bucket. The water splashing out of the bucket covers a great area, but the force is negligible. Using a hose to deliver the water gives you more control over where the water goes, and more force because the water is forced through a tight space." "Very good, Miss Shield." "You're so smart, Melissa! You gotta help me study sometime." "I'd be happy to, Ashido." "Ladies, if you wouldn't mind, the battle is not over yet." This video is sponsored by SoundPeats and their new TrueFree 2 wireless earbuds to provide the next level of quality and comfort. Ever gone out for a run and have to readjust your buds every 5 minutes? How about worrying about getting caught in the rain and ruining your $200 earbuds? Well, those days are behind you. With an ergonomic design created to stay on even through the most rigorous workout or function through a cascade of rain with its IPX7 water resistance. Enjoy 20 hours of battery life and seamless switching between earbuds without interruption and at a fraction of the price of most premium earbuds. Check out the new TrueFree 2 wireless earbuds in the link in the description below. Also, know that using the link below you won't only get an excellent audio experience. Still, you'll be supporting the channel so we can continue to provide the highest quality content possible. Each purchase helps. So if you're on the lookout for a new pair of buds, we've got you covered. Back on the field, Midoriya radioed to Uraraka. "Uraraka, how are you doing?" "Midoriya, I'm glad you called. I found Ida, but he spotted me. Sorry." "Not a problem. Where are you?" "Near the back corner of the building on the 4th floor." "That is right above where I am." Midoriya thought for a moment. The energetic youth got his second crazy idea of the day. "Uraraka, when I give you the signal, grab onto something and hold on." Okay. You got it, Midoriya." Midoriya channeled his energy into his whole body. The determined boy's Green Ranger suit became coated in lightning. Midoriya knelt like he was preparing for a long jump. "Okay, Uraraka. Hold tight. Holding." Midoriya jumped up with all his power. The dragon-coated teen flew upward and plowed through the ceiling into the room above. The floor of the room where Ida had hidden the mock weapon exploded as Midoriya crashed in. Midoriya then flipped in midair and reversed his force on the ceiling of the room, before he flew into the next room. Midoriya landed in a fighting pose in front of Ida. Both Ida and Uraraka were frozen in shock at Midoriya's dynamic entry. Midoriya used Ida's shock and delivered a powerful whirlwind of kicks and punches to the teen in white armor. "Uraraka, get the weapon! I'll take care of Ida!" The round-faced girl ran over to grab the weapon. It was at this moment that Ida regained his senses. The bespectacled boy fired his engines to run past Midoriya and protect the weapon from Uraraka. Before Ida could take off, Midoriya used his empowered reflexes to grab Ida's arm. This action threw Ida's balance off and led the speedster to crash into a nearby wall. Ida passed out, and Uraraka grabbed the weapon. These actions ended the match. Kruger commended all the students on their performance. The stern man then ordered each of the students to come to the monitor room for full evaluation. The 4 students gathered in the monitor room. Kruger ordered Bakugo, Midoriya, and Ida to remove their helmets. "Very well done, students. Can any of you tell me who the standout student for this exercise was?" Yaoyorozu then raised her hand. The girl with the long dark ponytail then replied, "Sir, the standout student was Tenya Ida. Let me explain. Bakugo was too focused on fighting Midoriya. That left Ida to defend the weapon by himself. While Midoriya and Uraraka displayed excellent teamwork, they both were far too reckless. Uraraka revealed her location to the enemy, and Midoriya breaking through the floor might have damaged the weapon. Tenya Ida prepared a plan and his area to achieve his objective." "That is correct. Very good, Miss Yaoyorozu. There's not much I can add to that." Kruger then looked at the 4 teens. "In spite of everything that your classmate just said, you 4 did showcase remarkable potential. One day, each of you will be great heroes, but that day is not today. Keep that in mind moving forward." Kruger then ordered the next pair of teams to enter the field. All the teams then took it in turn to run through the exercise. The only change was that Melissa Shield was teamed up with Hagakure. Even with this change, the Blue Ranger and the Invisible Girl could not defeat the freezing power of Shoto Todoroki. "Good work today, students. Each of you completed the exercise and there were no major injuries. You each will receive a report that details your actions during this exercise. It will let you know what you must work on. I'll also be sending a copy of this report to Mr. Aizawa, so he will be in the loop." The students thanked Kruger for his instruction. Kruger then dismissed the students of 1A. The 1A students got changed and met back in their classroom. Everyone was preparing to leave when Uraraka asked the power teens a question. "Midoriya, Bakugo, Kirishima, Jiro, Melissa, and Ashido. Why do your costumes look alike? I mean, you each have a different color and the helmets are different, but the designs are very similar, so what's up with that?" The 6 looked at each other. Each one was wondering how to answer that question. They had been told by both Ninjor and Kruger to not share details about the morphing grid. Fortunately, Melissa spoke up with the perfect answer. "Well, Uraraka, we were all trained by the same master. He was the one who had our costumes designed and made. We used them as a tribute to him." "Oh, that's so nice. Who was your trainer?" The teens were hesitant at first, but then told the other students that they were trained by Ninjor. After all, the armored man had not told them to keep their connection to him a secret, and the 6 felt their classmates had a right to know. The others were amazed that the 6 were trained by such a well-known hero. The 6 were then bombarded with questions about what the hero was like in person. 6 answered the question as best they could. At a secret location on the UA campus, Ninjor, Kruger, Aizawa, and Nezu met to discuss the attempted putty incursion. "Looks like you were right, doggy. I envy you for your foresight." Kruger wore his usual stern expression. "The grid did not bless me with foresight, Ninjor. You know this. I also take no pleasure in being right. This prediction was just the result of my vast experience." "Whatever the case, the putty's master was attempting to invade the campus. This is the first time they have tried that. It's also clear that their targets were the Rangers." "I don't pretend to understand this morphin grid business, but these Rangers are my students. How worried should I be? And what is the danger to the other members of the student body?" Fortunately, the improvements that Ninjor made to UA's security system seem to be working for now. But we should not rest on our laurels. This incursion bears all the hallmarks of a probing mission. The enemy was testing our defenses to see if they would break. The assailants will likely try again, and probably in greater numbers. We should start preparing the students for that. "I agree. Whoever this enemy is and whatever his objective, our priority is the students. The best way to protect them is to equip them with the skills and knowledge to defend themselves. I will inform the other staff members of these events.
Kruger and Aizawa, I want you to start preparing Class 1A to deal with putty attacks.
We were already planning on that, Principal. It is true, Nezu. I have been working with the other staff members to improve the UA training facilities with holographic training equipment.
Really? Well, that should help immensely.
The system should be ready in a couple of days.
Good work, gentlemen. Your homework is to prepare a very carefully worded explanation for your students.
At the same time as this meeting of select UA facility members, a meeting with far darker intentions was taking place. The putty master sat in the dark with two glowing images in front of him. One image was of Dr. Garaki, and the other was of Tenko Shimura. In this world, Tenko Shimura did not become Tomura Shigaraki, because Tenko never fell under the control of All for One. The disturbed young man was instead taken in by the putty master.
Well, that plan was a failure. That is where you're wrong, Doctor. True, the putties were not able to invade UA, but they did give us important intel. The barrier around UA has been fortified with Ranger tech. We can probably assume that the other UA facilities have been similarly modified.
Well spoken, Tenko. Do you have a plan on how to get into the campus?
I do, Master. I'm preparing for a massive attack now. All I need is a location.
Good. That will be coming shortly. Garaki, is the quirk payload I asked you to prepare ready?
Yes, it is, Master. It took longer than I expected, but I finished it nonetheless.
Good. Send it to Tenko. The master turned toward Tenko. You know what to do with this weapon, my boy. Tenko's eyes glowed with rage, but he spoke with a calm voice.
Yes, I do, Master. Those kids won't know what hit them.
That's what I like to hear. Let us show these Rangers what the meaning of power is. Thank you all for indulging yourselves in the story thus far. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, there are a few more things that I'd like to go over before the video ends. Firstly, we've got a second channel called Anime Deep Dive. Anime Deep Dive goes deep into the facts and lore of a wide variety of anime. It's sure to expand your weeb knowledge for all kinds of series guaranteed. On top of that, we have a third channel called We the Celestials Naruto What Ifs. It's what we do on this channel already, but in the vast world and lore of Naruto. Go check it out if you're in the mood for some jutsu action. I'd like to let you all know, on behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank everyone involved in the production of today's awesome content. Their details will be in the description below. If you're perhaps interested in what we do here at WTC, then I would like to extend out an invitation to join the team. The only caveat being we only accept members 16 and older to join our crew. You can find us on our Discord, which you can locate in the description below. Our Discord is an all-around fantastic place to be. Whether you're a fan or looking to join our band of misfits, all you gotta do is head up the recruitment server and sign up for whichever category of work fulfills your interests. We're always looking for members to join us. Well, that's it from us for today's video. So thank you all for watching, and have a great day.